Hello, I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man. Now, you may have seen in the media recently that Boris Becker has received a custodial sentence. To discuss it, I'm delighted that we've got Louise Brittain from Azets. Louise has acted as a trustee in bankruptcy for a number of high-profile clients, including Kerry Katona, the former MP Jonathan Aitken, and the former football player Bruce Grobbellaar as well. So, Louise, I just wonder if I could ask you, what has happened in Boris Becker's case, please?
Well, interestingly, the Insolvency Service decided to prosecute Mr. Becker because he had hidden assets from his bankruptcy trustee. It's an unusual application. We haven't seen it in many years, but in this case, the Insolvency Service decided that they needed to prosecute him, and they did it criminally, which is unusual.
So you mentioned the prosecution. When does a bankruptcy cross that line and become a criminal matter?
Well, it's quite a difficult test. I mean, it has to be quite obvious. I think because of the value of the property involved with Mr. Becker, it was several million. The fact that he very obviously hid it made it an easier criminal thing to prosecute. But it doesn't happen very often, and you really need to go to some lengths to hide your assets from your trustee to reach the criminal burden. And
I mentioned you're a trustee in bankruptcy. What is the role of a trustee in bankruptcy, please, Louise?
So it's a really old role. It's been around for hundreds of years, and the job is to realise the assets or the property of the bankrupt to pay money back to creditors. So in Roman times, creditors were entitled to a limb, but these days, a curtain comes down on the date of your bankruptcy order, and the trustee's job is to sell everything that's of significant value and pay money over to creditors, subject to lots of rules about making sure people have enough to live, and basic domestic needs and reasonable income and various other things. So, yeah, that's the basic job.
Louise, thank you so much for your insight, and thank you for appearing on The Inside Man.
Thank you.
I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.